Hey guys, Rorius here. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We're continuing just after the court hearing that was so long and arduous. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. It's extra thick. So, what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I am the only one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Is it Ola, partner? Yeah, I knew it. This guy. They say you show a red cloth to a bull. It'll fire up its temper. That's why they told me when I was a youngin', at least. Well, that's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least. Officer Marshall? Thought I'd come take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on? What's going on over there, anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now don't that just beat all? Don't that beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow around her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the award ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth seen it too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you gotta just let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. I have a bad feeling the cloth in the muffler is gonna be her muffler. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? Honey. If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee! February 23rd. Oh my god, we're straight back into court? What? You're kidding me, right? I thought it was gonna be the next day we came back. Is this whole case just gonna be in the courtroom now? Jesus Christ. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Holy crap. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it's time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, oh, this is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Is this the cop? Oh? Who's there? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Who is this? What's this music? Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? It's you. Who is this? Is it just gonna stay? What voice do I give this guy? Oh, sorry I'm late, Udgy. Wait, what voice do I give him? Sorry I'm late, Edgy. The roads were packed, it's just me. Do I give him a southern voice as well? I kind of have lots of southern... I have lots of southern voices in this episode, and I have lots of British voices in this episode. British. Southern. Sorry I'm late, Edgy. The roads are packed, it's just me. Long time no see, huh, Edgy? Edgy? How you been? Swim much these days? Ah, hello. No, I've been so... Oh, he's saying Udgy, because the Judge, Udgy, yep. Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy smizzy, Udgy. Udgy, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed.
Udgy seems to be his nickname for the Judge.
I'm afraid you're right. I'm very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Aha, so you're Rido, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son.
Thanks?
So sorry about our little Worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? So clearly... So this, he might be a prosecutor. And he's clearly a prosecutor. If he is a prosecutor, he's one that does not gel with like Edgeworth and Lana and stuff and others. Maybe not Lana, but Von Karma and Edgeworth. You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little Worthy? Mr. Wright. You don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. I see. He seems cheerful, I like him. Name's Gant, Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe the honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fella. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this.
Oh. Hey, that's... my sister's muffler.
So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, this guy really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. It freaks me out how much he just stands there staring. What's that? It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth. How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I have no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had... Your head in the clouds because you just got that award. Oh. I like the chief. But now I'm starting to think that maybe the chief was the one who is... He might be the mastermind behind this. He might be the actual... I have that funny feeling that we see before us the actual murderer. Your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'd expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. God. This court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. I'd like you to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me? I wonder. Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and...
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Objection! Or like, accusatory point. Come on, just hurry up and open it. I bet we're gonna cut ourselves when we open it. And it's gonna be Lana's knife, and it's gonna be that she cut herself opening it. Firstly, I'm gonna examine this. There's a small tag on this knife. It seems to say SL9-2. SL9-2. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar before. DL6. Yep. DL6's incident fame. But it's strange. Huh? What is? I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this somehow. There's also what appears to be a stain on it that I can't examine, but this is what they want me to do. Wah! Don't scare me like that! Oh, wah! Don't scare me like that! I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife added to the court record. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure. Wait, what voice did I give him? Sure thing, not a problem. Not even a little one, really.
I don't remember what voice I gave him already. It was southern, and it was like brash. Department in disorder. I can't believe we're still in court. Can't believe it.
This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Archie. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office.
Order! Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top-secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright.
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well, however, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Now there's more intrigue. Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say why or how here. Excuse me, special?
Hard to come by this particular knife. Anywhere else?
Might that special thing be this little tag?
Oh, sorry, Rido. But I can't say that now. Not that.
We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime?
That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something, a muffler.
Oh. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you?
See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department. I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Rido.
Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Rido.
Don't start calling me Rido.
Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. think perhaps pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So, how are things down at the department? Wait, what? I didn't read that properly. Oh, check the court record again, it said. SL9. That's what it is. Flip it upside down, it's SL9. It's not 67S or whatever. It's SL9. I'm just gonna keep pushing though. The department's in a bad shape. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look on your eyes. You got a good look on your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy. But with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? Victor was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact, surprisingly, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Rido. Oh, I suppose I could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and only one thing. Oh? Where the victim was found, how the victim was killed, when the victim died. We already know when. And we already know where approximately. How the victim was killed. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's an interesting part. That's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? That's exactly the same as it's Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. Now we're cooking. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. Time of crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? Should I go back and present the evidence to the previous thing, or should I keep pushing? I might forget otherwise if I don't. I might present this. Yeah, let's just present it. Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest to goodness objection. This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha, an honest to goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL9, too. And this is important, why? Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. Rotate it. What's this? 6 minus 7s, 12 over 2. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside? The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right-sided up. But turn it around, and what do you get? SL9. Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9! That's the same thing that's written on the knife's tag. Order! Well, Chief? Well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Rido. I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence. This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice! Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. I like his attitude. I like the police department. I like Gumshoe and I like this guy. Gant. Sorry, Gant. I like them. I was thinking about it the other day, like when I was just editing the last episode of the last of my episodes of the 4th episode of the game, and sometime before that, up to that point, and still now, I keep thinking about the characters and who, like, I was asked who my favorite character was, and I actually think my favorite character might be Gumshoe. I think I've decided that my favorite character in the series so far is Gumshoe. I really like him. He's just got a heart of gold, you know. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. That was a bad day. Yeah. So let's keep pushing further. Okay, time of the crime is 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? Like a partner, like Angel and Marshall might have killed the two people together. I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws at this point. I still think Angel's a red herring, but like, there's definitely a conspiracy afoot. 5:15, but that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder of the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Where did she pull that statistic out from? Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. It's not officially linked. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. How could you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand? Try to understand, Righto. Well, if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there's something that ties these two murders together. Whatever it is, I better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife. What was it doing there? I better check this knife out. I'm just gonna push this again, just to remind myself what's going on. I'm just gonna save it. It's not officially linked to this case here, so I can't talk much about it. But it's I mean, I thought I'd already proved that it was. I'm just gonna present this. No, okay. God damn it. I don't understand what I'm missing. I don't know what's happened. I feel like we've pretty clearly linked the two cases. What am I missing? I can't... Like, I've shown all the pieces. I don't understand. What am I missing? Oh, I can ask further questions. Ah. Where the victim was found. I didn't realize I could just repress the same thing and get further answers. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? Was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's a connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. So then did that update something? I'm confused. Do I just press something I've already pressed? Like, I've already tried presenting like this. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. What the hell? How does that solve it? I don't understand. Okay, so wait, do I just go back to this one and present the knife? No, I was gonna say, I've tried presenting against that before. Doesn't work. What the hell? Like, I'm gonna keep pressing him about I'm just gonna get the 3 questions answered. I'm so lost. I really thought we'd like shown that there was a link, but apparently not. Apparently not good enough. The link between the 2 cases established. We finally have some leverage. Why isn't it adding leverage? It's... Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. But I've tried. It didn't work. It wouldn't let me. I'm just gonna get the other question. I'm gonna get the last question that I have not got from this. When the victim died. So, when did the murder at the police department occur?
Now that's a sharp question, Righto. Very sharp. Well, my boy, you're gonna love this.
Oh, right. Okay, that does nothing. Okay. Oh my god, I'm so confused. Okay, I'm gonna look this up. What? It says to just... I looked up a thing and it just says to press... Is it this? Just press it again? Oh my god, what the fuck? That's such horseshit. Why did it just automatically do this? Why did it require me to go back to it and press it further? It's... Oh, that's the only one I feel like is... I've been like... The previous one that I got stuck on, I legitimately missed a thing. Like, that was back in the Steel Samurai case. Like, she said hammer when I thought she said... This is Dee Vasquez, I think. I think she said hammer when I thought she said powers. I just totally missed that one. This one, however, this just feels like gameplay bureaucracy. This one's bullshit. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these 2 cases has already been proven.
Huh, you don't say. Well, out with you, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, auto, Mr. These guys' 2 voices are too similar. Yes, Mr. Wright. Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
The connection is the place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on that knife's evidence tag. I feel like it was like we'd already made enough claims that it could have just automatically gone through and said, yep, alright, cool, you're done. Why did I have to go back and press it again? It's so weird. And the fact that presenting either of the pieces of evidence didn't work for furthering the storyline is really dumb. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence.
The way he stares kind of creeps me out.
You 2 make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here.
Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department.
See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all.
Can we get the information unofficially?
Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all.
What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? Alright. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything?
Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly.
Oh, well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. A victim's division, a victim's ID number, a victim's gender. Wait, let's just save it. Victim's division. Okay, well, what division was the victim stationed in?
Oh, you wanna know that, do you? Do you? Criminal Affairs, Division 1. The detectives responsible for homicide cases.
Homicide? That would be the same division as Detective Gumshoe. Detective Goodman, who was killed in the underground parking lot, was homicide too. It's almost like a serial killer was after homicide detectives. Oh, it's almost like a serial killer was after homicide detectives. Except this serial killer happened simultaneously, scientifically speaking. Well, I sure hope Detective Gumshoe isn't next on the list. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife? What was it doing there? I better check this knife out. Okay, well, let's see if I can get more information out of them from this. Yep. Let's just get victim's ID number. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number?
Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that.
Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all.
We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 584-2189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. It's 82... I can't do it.
He didn't even get the first number right.
Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number of the victim at the police department. Wait. I'm gonna look at the court record real quick. 584-2189. It's the same... What? Yes, this tells me something. Oh, whoops, I was almost said this tells me that. Yeah, this tells me something. That's really odd. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think.
Meaning?
Has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Wait. Goodman was murdered at the police department, not at the prosecutor's office. There's only one murder. But what does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say.
Wait, what the fuck?
You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tells you something. What does it tell you?
It's the same person. Witness.
What is this, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
No, I got confused. And this is news. Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is it yours?
No, Your Honor, I'm defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman.
Shame on you, Righto. Personal ID is our top secret.
Detective Goodman's ID number is 584-2189.
And this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten.
He didn't even get the person right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 584-2189. Wait a second, right. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? He knew the whole time.
Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
No, he wasn't. Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in a completely different location. No. He was dumped in Edgeworth's car.
Order, Chief! What is the meaning of this?
No, what I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case.
Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered.
Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case.
Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours.
What? How? How dare?
We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Chief Meekins who brought you the news.
Officer Meekins.
Oh.
Oh, Edgeworth did put himself in this shit, didn't he? Mr. Wright? Where have we heard that name before?
It's the officer with the banded hands.
Wait, aha! Excuse me. I completely forgotten what voice I gave him. But is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere in the premises? I'm here, sir. At the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him.
According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe.
But your officer, he told me, he said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident.
Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report.
Gah! Why did your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then I...
He's clearly also got a grudge against the prosecutors. No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy.
What?
Now, what was the second rule of evidence law?
They're coming up with these rules of evidence law, which we'd never heard of before. Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented under... Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant?
Normally, you should submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does that mean? What does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court.
Ah, I see.
The connection was just proven by Rido over here. Good job, Rido, my boy.
Huh? I was just doing my job.
No.
No! I see, I sort of accidentally did the job of the prosecutor.
It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, what with all those rumors. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December.
Ugh. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do.
You'd better get results this time, really.
You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court.
I don't know about that.
I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this, for your sake I hope it's not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned.
I see. Well, to be continued. That ended up being a much longer... Like that... If you were to do that whole court case section in one sitting, that was almost a further hour of courtroom trial. So it's like nearly, it's like 2.5 hours, not quite 2.5, like let's say 2 hours. It's like at least 2 hours worth of, because I sometimes take like mini breaks or I have to pause between things or I'm interrupted. So there's at least 2 hours of court case in the middle there. I'm out of time to record today, so that's gonna have to do it. If you like what you saw, hit like. If you want to see more from me, then subscribe. I wasn't expecting the follow-up of a lot of court case stuff to be more court case stuff. So I do apologize for this, like, maybe potential overloading of court case sections. There does need to be a balance between the investigation and court case stuff. All court case and no investigation makes it, like, makes you that's when stuff like me falling into that trap of not knowing what to do, but it turned out I just had to press something I'd already pressed before a second time, or I'm pretty sure I'd pressed it multiple times before, but I just hadn't done the thing prior to turn that piece into a pressable thing. Yeah. That's when you get stuff like that, where it's like awkwardness, because there's just too much trial at once. Whatever the case. We're back to investigation. I see that now. It says day 2 investigation on the save file now. We'll be pounding the pavements for more evidence and truths about the case in the next episode. Don't forget to check the description for the links to the social medias and, you know, merchandise and stuff like that. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.